BBC News with Sue Montgomery. The former Crown Prince of Jordan says the armed forces have put him under house arrest amid reports of a possible coup attempt against the ruling monarch King Abdullah. In a video passed to the BBC, Prince Hamza denied being part of any conspiracy against his half-brother, but he accused the country's leaders of corruption, incompetence and harassment. This comes after several high-level figures were detained for what the military chief called security reasons. Our Arab Affairs editor, Sebastian Usher, reports.
It's unclear what level of security threat the Jordanian authorities have been responding to, but there's no doubt as to the gauntlet that Prince Hamza has now thrown down. In a video passed to the BBC, the former Crown Prince denies any conspiracy, but says things have got so bad in Jordan that no one can express an opinion without being bullied, harassed or arrested. The Jordanian military has denied that he's been detained, but says he was told to stop any action that could undermine the country's security and stability. It's that image of stability in a volatile region that has served Jordan so well, keeping the country's head above water despite its economic and social problems, thanks to help from its allies like the US.
Reacting to developments in Amman, the United States has described King Abdullah as a key partner of Washington, who has its full support. It said it was closely following events and was in touch with Jordanian officials. Countries in the region have also backed the Jordanian monarch. Germany's President Frank-Walter Steinmeier has warned of a crisis of trust in politics linked to the coronavirus pandemic. In a televised national address, he urged political leaders to get it together in response to public frustration and feelings of powerlessness. He urged people to cooperate with each other and to get vaccinated. Damien McGuinness is in Berlin.
Part of what he highlighted, and he admitted mistakes had been made, were really to do with the vaccine rollouts and also testing. So we've had a number of errors really that have been made. Some would say mishaps, some would say the consequence of political rows. Individual reports might be actually not that serious, but the whole sum of all this negativity and these negative headlines have really started to get people down. And that's simply because the vaccine rollout overall has been too slow, and as a result, the infection rate numbers have been creeping up steadily. So that's why the president's warned of a tough few weeks ahead, really.
France has entered a third lockdown following a dramatic rise in coronavirus cases that's threatening to overwhelm hospitals in Paris. Non-essential shops must stay closed, and a curfew from 7 in the evening to 6 in the morning is extended nationwide. The restrictions will be in place for 4 weeks. BBC News. Somali police say at least 6 people were killed in a suicide attack in a cafe in the Shangani district of the capital Mogadishu. Many others were reportedly wounded. Here's Elsa Okne.
The cafe, which is also a shisha bar, is popular with young people. An eyewitness said the bomber walked into a crowd who were drinking tea in an open area near a police station. There's been no claim of responsibility, but earlier the Islamist group Al-Shabaab attacked 2 army bases and a military convoy southwest of Mogadishu. The Somali army says it killed 85 insurgents. The claim cannot be verified, but heavy casualties were reported on both sides. The army says it has regained control of both bases.
Workers are reinstalling razor wire fencing and concrete barriers around parts of the Capitol building precinct in Washington, a day after an attacker in a car ran over 2 police officers, killing one and injuring the other. An outer ring of security measures installed following the storming of Congress in January had begun to be removed. Thousands of people have marched through towns and cities in England and Wales in the latest protests against legislation making its way through Parliament that would give police more power to curb demonstrations. The former leader of the main opposition Labour Party, Jeremy Corbyn, told crowds in London that the bill was a very dangerous, slippery slope. Normal navigation has resumed along the Suez Canal. The last ships stranded by the grounding of a giant container vessel almost 2 weeks ago have passed through the vital trade route. More than 400 ships were held at either end of the canal while salvage experts cleared the obstruction. The Egyptian authorities say an investigation into the incident will be made public early next week. BBC News.